to another episode of Brand Different. In this episode, episode 3, I will be speaking with Dr. Aikyna Finch. She is a podcaster, social media coach, and speaker. She is also a Forbes Coaches Council member. She coaches in the areas of empowerment, life, and social media at the individual and group levels for her company Finch and Associates LLC. She is the co-host of the Motivate Social podcast, broadcasted by her company Changing Minds Online. She speaks about motivation, education, and social media, and avidly live streams on these topics. She's also the founder of the Scope Mastermind Group on Facebook and an educator and author. Under her author hat, she has co-authored 6 books and released her first solo project, Motivation Ignited. In addition, she's a contributor for the Huffington Post, Goalcast, Forbes, Shine Now magazine. I'm so excited about this conversation that she and I will be having on today. So let's just jump right in. Here is Brand Different. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Brand Different, your web TV show that brings you a little taste of Super Soul Sunday meets Entrepreneurs Magazine. I'm your host, Famira, and I'm a creative brand strategist, and I really created this platform to have conversations with amazing women entrepreneurs who are forging their own trail and going to the beat of their own drum. And so we have another guest today that is doing just that, Dr. Aikyna Finch. And I'm so glad to have you here with us, Dr. Finch. How are you doing?
Fine, I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much, Premier, for having me.
I'm so glad that you're here. And, you know, when I sent out the call to want to start this show, you were one of the first ones that said yes and was very supportive of the vision. And so I thank you so much for that. So I want to say that publicly because, you know, that support is really what got this going. So thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure, because, we need to support each other, my sister, because we all have great things we're doing and we can't do it by ourselves, we all need to be like that binding cord.
Yes. So just to give people a little bit of background about you and who you are, definitely entrepreneur, podcaster, author, um, what else? Social media guru, um, speaker. Like, what else can I add to the list of who you are? Just so many different moving parts, and I love that, about you, because it is really like you don't have to be just one thing, and oftentimes that's one of the boxes that people try to put us in, especially as entrepreneurs, that you can only do one thing. And so just kind of really starting there, just kind of tell us a little bit more about what you do and what made you decide to do it.
Well, after I was able to narrow it down to basically 3 different areas. And when I periscope, I usually say that I do education, motivation, and social media. So that's where the Dr. Aikyna Finch comes from. That's kind of like, used to be a dean, now I have faculty. I will always teach till the day I die. Love education, love, educating people so that they can get to where they want to get to. Then the motivation piece was where, because I was more on the nerdy side, where my family was more social butterfly, fashion, and all of that, I had to realize that that's not necessarily where I was going to get my motivation from, and that I had to go and find people who wanted to do some of the things I wanted to do. And but at the end of the day, when I ask any of them, you asked any of them about me, they will say that she always did whatever she said she wanted to do. No matter what it was, she just made it happen. And so, that's where the motivation comes in. I want to help other people feel that same way. And then of course the social media. That's basically where I found my voice and my way of putting things out into the atmosphere. I am 110% introvert. If you catch Aikyna on a good day, you might have a conversation. Dr. Finch, on the other hand, is more outward, more the presenter, yada yada. So usually when I'm presenting or whatever, you're talking to Dr. Finch. You're not talking about me, you know. So I mean that it, you know, being able to show people that they can get their messages out to, they can elevate to their level of greatness, whatever their level of greatness is.
Right.
And you can do it through social media by letting people know who you are, because guess what? They're not Googling you because they don't know who you are. So if you put it out there, you have to let them know who you are, what you're about, and then do it in a charismatic way so that people will be like, I'm breathing in what you're breathing out.
Right. And so I totally relate to Aikyna, because I too am an introvert, and it's so funny because when I put that out there and say that, people are like, no, not you, you can't be. And I'm like, no, I just like loud clothes, like, but I'm not. But I'm normally, you know, sitting in the corner with myself, you know, I have my book, even in you know, uh arenas where there's a lot going on, I'm usually kind of chilling off to the side unless somebody approaches me to talk to me. So I totally get Aikyna, and I also get Dr. Finch, because you know, being able to have that other persona almost, to help you as an introvert get through events and different things that you need to do, because visibility is real, right? And we need that as an entrepreneur. So that's really one of the things that I admire about you, from the standpoint of really being different and not being afraid to brand different, is how you have really embraced the whole introvert side, not only of yourself, but just even of the community that you serve. Because you know, we often think that you have to be extroverted in order to succeed in the online space. And what I can tell by your face, like, that you have something to say to that. So what do you say to people that say that?
Oh, absolutely not. Introverts are actually the ones that are in the background and they're observant. They don't miss too much. So when it's time for them to speak, they usually hit you hard and swift. And so you need not miss those messages. It's kind of like those small, still voices that you're supposed to be listening to when you stop to pay attention.
Right.
That's basically what an introvert is. And that's why they're very good at coaching. I am a pretty good coach, yeah. I'll toot that horn. But you know, coaches, teachers, things of that nature, because they're the ones who are going to really get the nuance of you, and they'll tap into you, and then you'll be like, well, wow, I never really noticed that. Yeah, we do, because
Right.
you know, we notice everything.
Right.
So I mean, the introvert message is really a powerful one if you just sit there and listen.
Right. I totally agree with that, because I know I'm like, I always tell people I'm like supernaturally observant. Like, I observe things that, I mean, in a lot of ways, sometimes like I don't need to see it, but but I see it because, you know, that's part of who I am. And mine is like doubly because it's already my natural state. But then on top of that, I was raised by a father that kind of trained that muscle even more, because of the fact that I was a girl and he wanted to make sure that I was safe, you know, being out in the world. So, so it's like, you know, I notice I notice everything. Some things I'm like, I wish I could unsee that. But, you know, so I mean, so it's really, you know, interesting to have this whole conversation around that, because, you know, a lot of times when we think of speakers and you think of people who host shows and have these things, it is this false narrative that says, oh, that they must be introverted in order to be successful in social media and and these other avenues. And that's why oftentimes people are so surprised to find out when people are actually introverted, because it's almost like that's just not supposed to be possible. And so with that, really being something that's I guess contrary to the mythology of what is entrepreneurship and all of that. How do you work with clients, especially those introverts that feel like they can't do it because that's what's society and that's what this industry tells them?
Well, that's a very, very good question. I am that person that's quick and swift. So I will listen to you and I will hear your issue, and then I will give you a solution. And or solutions that you could choose from, and now with coaching you're supposed to guide them to the light versus counseling. You could do a little bit more saving. So I just do it in a nice little storytelling way, to let them know, hey, let's guide you to the light. and and they appreciate it because it's usually tailor-made to them. It's usually tailor-made to them. And we'll, because I have clients all over the world, so it's like we'll meet on a Skype or a Zoom or even a Facebook Messenger. And it's kind of like they have their own little form just for that, hour, whatever it is. But it's amazing when they just get somebody that just taps right into them only, because they're used to being the mother, the daughter, the friend, the this, the that. Yeah. But then just for that hour or so, they're just them, and they're okay to be just them. Right. And that's what I love to give to my clients.
Right. And that's an awesome thing, because, I think that, a lot of times, especially in this space right now, it's moving so fast, the whole coaching industry. There's so many different things that people can coach on, so many different aspects of it, that even from a branding standpoint, it's a lot of things to keep up with. And I feel like, oftentimes people don't take that time to really focus on themselves and what it is that they're trying to do and the work that they actually want to accomplish, because they're so busy looking at everyone else and what everyone else is doing and feeling like they have to fit into those spaces. So, being able to be around a coach like you that is like, no, we need to focus on you, I think is very important. Especially now in the lands of duplication of people, not necessarily wanting to be copycats, but quite frankly, I keep this conversation real. There's unfortunately, a lot of coaches out there that are into making mini-me's. And so I'm excited to hear when people are like, no, this is about you being your authentic self. So, but, moving into that, talking more about social media and what that looks like right now, there's always different trends. There's different things happening. Social media is happening so fast. What is it that you feel like is the area that people really should be focused on right now when it comes to social media and their business?
I love the know, like, and trust factor. Whether that be the video, that is what helped me. The live streaming definitely helped me. But sometimes, you can do the YouTube videos. You can do the, the special postings that just pop and just, now you have the Instagram stories and the Snapchats and the different things like that where they can follow you throughout your day. Sometimes they just need to see the back end of what you're going through, because sometimes it's all they see the bells and the whistles, but they don't see all the stuff that brings on the bell and whistle. And then they might just be a little bit shocked when they realize what it really takes to go ahead and make this happen.
Right.
So, you know, showing that you are a real person, showing that it's okay to be authentic, showing that it's okay to mess up sometimes, you know, is game changing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Everybody pushing, oh, you got to have that perfect brand. You got to have this. You got to do that. You got to put this on. You got to put that on.
Right, right.
You know, and it's a lot of people that shy away from me because I am very natural. I'm very unique or whatever. I don't do all the 6-inch heels and the shellacked faces and all that kind of stuff, you know. And that is their prerogative. That is what they want. That's fine. Go forth.
Right.
You know, but if people just want the knowledge, if they want to have the training, if they want somebody who's going to give their audience, you know, information like that, then, you know, that's usually who I talk to.
Right, right.
That's usually who I talk to. I had to realize, and as anybody in social media, please hear this. You are not for everyone.
Yes.
If somebody says something bad about you, take it in, analyze it. There's a difference between them being constructive criticism and them just not being your audience.
Right.
You know, send them to whoever it is their audience. That's perfectly fine. But it's the difference between, oh yeah, I really could do that just a little bit better. I get that. And so you tweak that versus, oh no, boo, I'm just not your cup of tea. Let me send you over here to A, B, C, D, or E, or G. Okay? And that way you can get your services. You know, and it's okay.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you should not compromise your values because you're trying to make a buck. Not all money is good money. When it's killing you, when it's killing your brand, when it's killing your integrity, it's not good money. And sometimes you're going to have to learn how to let it go in order to have some peace.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's included in social media. And people are like, where did you go there with that? Because guess what? It starts there. They see you on social media, then they're in your DM. Then they're all this and they're all that. And can I pick your brain about this? Can I pick your brain about that? And then you have to realize, do you take this to the next level or don't you? And it all starts with your social media. Yes, it's good. That means that you're hitting a nerve or a point with them, which is what your social media is supposed to do, is bringing them back to the website, which is what it's supposed to do, you know. But you have to remember, if you're attracting too many of what you're not looking for, then it might be time for a tweak.
Right. Oh my gosh, you just dropped like so many gems in that one section. I'm like, oh, I want to talk about that. Oh, I want to talk about that. Like so many good things, you know. Definitely the aspect of everybody is not your, you know, your audience is not your ideal audience. It's not who you are here to reach, right? Because I'm a firm believer that, you know, we have certain people that we're here to impact in some way and that we're meant to connect with on different levels. And we operate, and the people that we are here to actually touch, we operate on the same frequency as them, right? And so people will get us and we will get them. And that's when you really have the whole, a lot of times the situation where it's like, oh, I felt like she totally got me. She totally understood me, and things like that. And then sometimes you just have the one who's like, this doesn't go, you know? And so like, cause like you said, like, even for me, like, everybody don't get these glasses, you know. It's for some people it's too much, you know, for them, the brightness, the bright colors, the things that I like to do. And I'm fine with that. You know, it doesn't mean that in helping you with your brand that I can't help you do neutrals. This is just what I do. You know, this is my piece. And so I think that's so important to reiterate and to talk about, you know, the fact of, you know, not all money is good money. You did mention that. And, and that everyone is not who you're designed to talk with and, and help. You can't help everybody. 7 billion people on the planet, right? And you're not here, to work with all of them. So yeah, I'm so glad that you took it there. And because it does start with your social media. Whether you're writing a post, you're doing a video, you're live streaming, whatever. And I think it's really important because ultimately you want to be as authentic as possible, because especially starting out, you're who they're going to work with. Most people starting out as an entrepreneur, they don't have a bunch of coaches working for them where the person is never going to work with them. Like, you're working with them one-on-one. So they're going to get hopefully what they see on social media when they work with you in person, right? That is the goal, right? So, right? So, but with that, really the whole premise of this show too is just to talk about how doing things different is okay. I think that we get caught up, especially with the different people that are rocking out, the industry, where people are trying to be them or be like them because they want the success that they have and the different things that they're doing. And they don't really understand the importance of not being afraid to be different. How does that, having that courage to be different and to be really who you are, how can that aid you with your social media?
That's a very good question. So most people say, when I say I do social media, they expect to come to my page and get these little memes about, oh, this is the social media tip of the day, and this is the this, and this is the that. Actually, I don't do social media like that. As you know, most people that follow me do know this. It's like my page is like this news page of different things that's going on in the social media realm, in the coaching realm, and this. My information is more informative. Because I want my people to know, oh, this is the new tool that you have out there. Let's do a video about that. Or this is the new coaching program that's out there. Let's analyze that. Or this is the newest person that's out there that's doing great things. Let's talk about them. And then in the process, I'll do a live stream or a Facebook Live, what have you. And I will let the people be engaged in that. Right. And I recently did a live stream panel where they were like, "Oh, Facebook, you really don't get a lot of engagement on your live streams, whereas Periscope, they talk to you all the time." I said, "No, mine's a little different." I said, "I could pop in for 5 minutes and I can have 35 comments, just wanting to know what I'm doing if I just write testing." And it's like, because they were already a Periscope audience. Right. So when you put yourself out there and say, "Hey, I am, I do education, motivation, social media. What I use my message for is to then switch it up and write in Huffington Post and write in Forbes and write for Goalcast and do all these things, showing you that you could go from this little entity of your business, this little sliver of the world, your business, and take it all the way to different stratospheres." I show people that just by starting with that first meme can take them all over the world. They can branch out and do anything. I want them to be motivated and ignited because they have that gift inside them. Stop sitting on it. Yes. See, that's the difference with the social media for me. I want them to use it as not a glory to me type of tool, but more of a glory to thee type of tool, where they're getting the message out. They're showing other people that they can be great in their own way, and they can get their own followers organically and authentically. People say, "Go buy you some followers, go buy you some this, go buy you some that." I got 22,000 so Twitter people, ain't bought a one. You know, everybody that's on there click the button and said follow.
Right.
You know, same thing with the Facebooks, the Snapchats, the this, that, and the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I'm a unique beast. I am. I'm not for everybody. I get on there, I say exactly what I'm feeling, like I'm doing right now, and then I get off.
Right.
But you know, that's not for everybody. Some people get a little sensitive. It's okay. You know, and just like with you, you know, the colors, the boldness, the brandness. Guess what? They should be honored to have somebody who is so comfortable in their brand, because that means that you're going to end up being comfortable in your brand too when you're done with them.
Right.
That's the way people need to see things. They always see stuff from the outer. It's need to start seeing things from the inner, and that is where my approach to social media is a little different. I hope I answered your question.
Definitely, because I think that's the thing, right? I think a lot of people, just quite honestly right now in this space, especially women, because I work a lot with women. They're so afraid or been so beat down before about being exactly who they are, that then they think, okay, I'm gonna become an entrepreneur and then everything's gonna be great. But it's like, no, you still have to deal with that, because you still have to show up as who you are in order to truly reach the level of success and enjoy it, right? Because you could reach a level of success not being somebody else, but are you really going to enjoy it? Once you get there, are you really enjoying the journey? Because ultimately, it's not no fun trying to be somebody else that that you're not. That's going to come up, and that's why I'm loving the fact that you're here with me today, because it is that is what's different. Most people, when you look at the industry of social media and people that are teaching social media, they aren't taking the approach that you're taking, right? It is about tell them all about you and share all your goodness and your greatness. And as a business, though, you have to remember who you're serving, right? You're trying to help other people. So it can't be all about you when you're trying to help other people. Like, it seems like it makes so much sense, but that's not what's really happening in the space, right? Oftentimes. So
yeah,
I love the
into that from there. Mm-hmm. This is where our women are missing. Mm-hmm. It's a difference between being accepted for who you are and being respected for who you are. Mm-hmm. A lot of people just want to be accepted. No, I don't want to be accepted. I want to be respected. Mm-hmm. Because that means that they get that I'm different from them, but they also get that I bring something to the table. Mm-hmm. See, they'll lay that table out there, and you can either ask for a seat or take your seat. Mm-hmm. When you're accepted, you ask for a seat. When you're respected, you take your seat. Right. And I'd rather take my seat. And my seat is unique and it's different. Mm-hmm. And it's bringing something to the table that not everybody else is bringing to the table. And see, that's where we need to be. We need to take our seats at the table. We need to say, this is the brand. This is what I bring. This is what you're going to get. Like it, love it, but nevertheless, respect it.
Yes, I love that. Take your seat. So that leads me to really talking about, disruption. Because for me, what I really feel and what I'm really seeing just from having conversations with other women in the industry that I'm friends with, and a lot of people, not only entrepreneurs themselves, but also consumer end, right? The people that are buying the products and buying the services. It's really a uprising of people being tired of business as usual. right? Where they're looked at as just a number, like no matter what industry you're in, you know, prime examples of that, you know, are definitely like your hospitality type of fields. It's like people feeling like they're just a number, they're just cattle meat, you know, and not being really looked at as people. So from a customer end and consumer end, you know, people are tired of business as usual. But then also entrepreneurs, you know, a lot of them that I talk to, they're really tired of business as usual. And I feel like there's a remnant of us that are like, not only are we tired of it, but we're doing something about it. So, and that's what I relate to as when I call a person a disruptor or talk about the disruption. But what does disruption mean to you when you're thinking about like really disrupting an industry?
Okay, so let's take social media for say.
Mhm.
Most people are, uh, the setup of it or the strategy of it and the look of it. All of those are important.
Mhm.
But when you are a disruptor in that field, you take the look, the feel, and the strategy of it, right? And then you elevate it a notch. You say, okay, so now what I'm gonna do with it? You know, they tell you how to make it look pretty. They tell you how to make it move. They tell you what to do with the hashtags and whatever. Okay, and we're done. They're not telling you about, okay, now if you do this to do this with your class, then this is what's going to happen to your sales. They don't talk about the sales funnel. They don't, when you do this to get more exposure to brands, this is what's going to happen when they ask you for, come to you talking about sponsoring you. Do you have that conversation? Probably not with a social media strategist. You would
Right.
probably have it with me though. Or when you're sitting there and you're talking about, oh, I want to be well known, I want to be in media. They're not telling you how to go out there and look for those articles to start pitching, those blogs to start pitching, those different things to start pitching. But they would with me. So, that's a disruptor. It's a whole bunch of people, community managers out there love what they do. I love what they do. I do a little bit of that for very, very small amount of people. That's, not necessarily my wheelhouse. But the disruption is the wheelhouse. When you see a client that you done went through and really got deep with them and got deep into what they really want to do, when they come to you about social media, they really, 9.5 times out of 10, they want to know about social media. They either want to know about branding. They want to know how to make money. They want to know how to do all that. And they understand social media is a piece of it.
Right.
When they realize the social media is just a piece and they are looking for something else, that's when we get deep. And that's the disruption.
Yes, I love that. So true. Take it up a notch. Oh, that was good. Yeah, definitely. So I want to ask you, because for me, I'm really big on women that are looking to really create an impact in the world, and that for them it is about more than business. It is about more than just the service they provide. And I know this to be true about you. And but I want you to share with everyone else, what is your actual message to the world in this space, and how you're acting it out and how you are delivering it with your business? What is it that you want people to know?
My message to the world is that you have a gift, you have a message, you have a purpose. And some of y'all are sitting there meditating on your couch cushion and letting life go by. Why is this? That's what I do. I want to find out why that is, help you find out why that is, and then let you get rid of that so you can move on with purpose and greatness. That's basically exactly what it is. And everybody's like, and I do it through social media, I do it through motivation, and I do it through education. Because if you are educated in what it is that is the problem, then you're motivated to get rid of it. And then you have that social media platform via live stream, via posting, whatever, to then move forward and tell people the gift. the message and the purpose. Make sense?
Yes, I love it. I love it. So definitely love that. So we're kind of getting towards the end of the episode. It's like it feels like we just started talking, but you know that's what happens when you're able to have like these good real talks, you know, and really share about you know my whole message for this show is that it is okay to please be different, brand different, be different. Like, you know, world is boring when everybody looks alike and is the same and says the same things. The same is true for, you know, however you show up, whether you have a brick and mortar business or you are operating in the online space. So I just thank you so much. Normally I ask people, how do you brand different? But I feel like you've shared it so much just in our conversation that I don't really need to even ask you that question. That as they were watching it, they definitely got that. So what I'll ask you instead is if there's anything that you would like to leave the people with, something to think about or something you feel like they should know, what is that?
I love the thought that Famira's putting out their brand different. Everybody wants to be the brown horse, you know. We're full of brown horses. And you were born the little white horse with the horn on it. And when you were a child, boy, you got picked on for the being white with the horn. But guess what? Now that you're an adult, that being white with the horn on it, makes you stand out. Makes people want to know more about you. Makes people be more intrigued with you. And that's the kind of being different. You stand out. You stand in your greatness. You stand in your truth. And you're unapologetic for it. That's the big thing. You're unapologetic for it.
Yes.
You're done with hiding in the background. You're done hiding. You're ready to stand out. You're ready to blossom, and you're ready to run on your four little white legs with your little unicorn self. So go be the unicorn. Be the unicorn and stand in your truth. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the new little unicorns popping up because y'all saw this show with Famira and y'all realized that branding, you know, great, branding unique, branding on purpose is what you need to do because you are branding different.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. Let everybody know where they can find you at and where they can stay connected with you, of course, on social media, because I'm sure people watching this need some of that social media knowledge that you be dropping. And so let them know where they can find you.
Well, you can find me at AikynaFinch.com. You can get on the mailing list. We have a lot of cool things. We have a lot of booklets, cheat sheets, and things like that. We have a new branding on purpose class that you can get on there. So a lot of cool things that you can get on there and learn about the social media. And you can find me at any social media platform at DRAD Finch. And come see me. You know, come and let me know what you think. Let me know what I can tweak. You know, let's communicate. I'm all about engagement and I'm all about, you know, bringing to the next level. So let's do this.
Awesome, awesome. And you'll be able to find that all of her social media links and her website somewhere around this video. Just look around, it'll be there. And definitely on my website at www.famira, that's F as in fabulous, AMIRA, green just like the color.com. And you'll be able to see other episodes as well there. So make sure that you get connected with her. I'm telling you, she knows her stuff. And you know, y'all know I only bring the best. So thank you again, Dr. Finch, for being here with me on this show. I really, really appreciate it. And it was a great conversation. So thank you again.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here.
Yes. So until next week, make sure that you tune in next week, next Thursday, for another episode to be dropped of Brand Different. And we'll have another amazing woman entrepreneur joining us next week that's going to be sharing with you more on this. So until next week, I am Famira, and you can find me on social media at I am Famira on all social media platforms. And so I'll see you all next week. Bye.